if we're going to have another debate, the preparation for that debate needs to be different. There's no question in my mind. We cannot overload the candidate with all. Well, I don't know. I think that Joe Biden will do well with the debate. I think it all depends upon what the rules are. I don't like a debate where nobody will do any fact-checking. You just say what you want to say. You know it's a lie. The guy told 30-some-odd lies, and nobody checked him on it and said that was up to Joe Biden to do. I'm not too sure. If I ask you a question and you lie to me with the answer, I ought to follow up and give you what the facts are and see what your reaction to that will be. So that, to me, was not the way to plan the debate, and whoever did that or agreed to that really should think about what they're doing.
Yeah, okay. Well, it was a debate agreed to by President Biden first, who proposed this debate.
Dana Bash didn't seem too happy about more heat coming down on her and Jake Tapper over their lack of follow-ups to some of the obvious lies Donald Trump told.
I think it is easy to settle this right now by President Biden going to the Brady Press Center, the press file in the White House, and doing a 2-hour press conference. Everybody would cover it live. Networks probably would cover it live. He'd answer all these questions. It's not a crazy thing to expect a president to do. And the fact is, you know that. The campaign knows that. The White House knows that. That's how you settle this. You just put him in front of reporters, and he handles himself with acuity, aplomb. We all see it was just a fluke. Oh, my God, I can't believe it happened. And we move on. The fact that you haven't done that says quite a bit to me.
Let's keep it real. Nobody involved wants a second debate. First of all, these moderators already seem to be muted because they didn't want conservatives claiming that they're bullying Trump, which is probably why they refused to say simple things like, what do you mean by post-birth abortions?
The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at the former governor of Virginia, he was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the baby aside and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby.
I think that the Democrats came into this election thinking they could just run on abortion. So you saw last night the biggest lie where he said the Democrats aren't for late-term abortion. That is an outright lie that even Planned Parenthood would tell you. That's not true, Joe Biden. We are for that. They believe in all the way through the 9th month. Donald Trump brought up even after that.
Neither candidate wants another debate either. Biden would be back in front of a podium with even more pressure to prove that he can string a couple of sentences together, and Trump would get some form of follow-up questions to each of his lies that he can't explain away. He's better off sitting back and letting his surrogates keep the lies alive.
Fewer voters thought the former president was truthful compared with President Biden. Mr. Trump falsely claimed states are passing legislation to execute babies. I think you know that killing people is illegal in every state. He falsely claimed that the Speaker of the House at the time turned down 10,000 soldiers that he had offered to keep the peace ahead of January 6th, something his own acting Secretary of Defense testified to Congress did not happen. If he has such a strong platform, why make false claims?
Well, Morgan, I think the media is running interference on a lot of this stuff. We all know, and Nancy Pelosi herself has admitted on camera, that she could have requested more National Guard troops. She bears some responsibility for the fact that they weren't there at the Capitol. We know that multiple Democratic governors and states and even some Democratic senators and congressmen have tried to pass laws that would effectively legalize abortion up until the moment of birth. And most importantly, we know that the media seems totally uninterested in fact-checking Joe Biden from any of the number of false claims that he made.
You know, I've lost track, sir. I've been told the media's on every single side of this and everything's our fault. But let's get back to the candidate you're here to talk about.
Auditioning to be Trump's running mate is pretty easy. Just repeat the lies with empty qualifiers like everybody knows and we all saw, which is basically saying if you don't believe these lies, you're not part of the made-up group of people that we're not identifying that says this is true. All it does is keep supporters of each perspective in their corners with no common truth to rely on.
Donald Trump lied the entire 90 minutes. One analysis said that he told about 30 lies. I'm not real good in math, but I think that's about a lie every 90 seconds. That's real talent. That means that whenever his mouth was moving, he was lying. And we can't have somebody like that in the Oval Office. That's not a talent we need leading the free world. And so Joe Biden has demonstrated, not over 90 minutes, but over the last 4 years, the character and the mettle of the man that he is. And he has demonstrated this both in his public service and in his personal life. His is a life of public service, baptized in sorrow, and it is why you feel his sense of care when you're with him. And it's our job. Democracy is a group project. It's our job to make sure that Donald Trump gets nowhere near the Oval Office.
This is the fail-safe that Trump and MAGA are relying on. After convincing their supporters that anyone, especially the media, telling the truth about anything he says is against Trump. The only truths they believe come from the guy that does all the lying. So we're left playing this game of it's only true if my guy said it, after eliminating the media as the group that presents the facts. We're even supposed to forget that J.D. Vance hated Trump until he was presented with an opportunity for some power to trickle down on his face.
In an August 2016 interview with NPR, Vance said this.
I think there's a chance, if I feel like Trump has a really good chance of winning, that I might have to hold my nose and vote for Hillary Clinton.
CNN's K-File unearthed Twitter direct messages sent by Vance in 2017 in which the author called Trump a quote-unquote moral disaster whose administration had, quote, no domestic policy agenda besides tax cuts. And in a since-deleted tweet from 2017, Vance said this, quote, in 4 years, I hope people remember that it was those of us who empathized with Trump's voters who fought him the most aggressively. Whoops. When Vance became a candidate for the Senate seat, he deleted most of his past tweets critical of Trump, and he apologized for them on Fox News.
Like a lot of people, I criticized Trump back in 2016, and I'd ask folks not to judge me based on what I said in 2016, because I've been very open about the fact that I did say those critical things, and I regret them, and I regret being wrong about the guy.
Sorry, I can't see a video of VP hopeful J.D. Vance without showing how much Trump loves to humiliate him, probably over his past comments for a little bit of that retribution that he's obsessed with.
And then the New York Times did a fake story today, big front page, that J.D. wasn't sure if he wanted my support. J.D. is kissing my ass. He wants my support. So I'm 18 points up. If I was 18 points down, he wouldn't want my support. I'll tell you, Jim Jordan wants my support, and he's doing just fine, right? No, these are fake people. These are dishonest. These are very dishonest people.
These public ass kissers must go back to their families and explain to them that they're only welcoming the degradation in case they're chosen to kiss his ass for 4 years. Just ask Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, Mike Pence, Chris Christie, Kevin McCarthy, and Mitch McConnell. Anyway, both campaigns look like they're just going into long-term politicking mode over any harm felt from the debate, hoping that all the negatives stick. But one historian thinks all these arguments and discussions about the impact don't make a difference at all. As we'll see.
All of these pundits and pollsters and analysts that you see on all the cable channels and all the networks have no track record in predicting elections. And yet they come on and they claim they know how this debate is going to affect the outcome of elections. They have no idea. It's sports talk radio. It may be entertaining, but it has no scientific basis.
So what is the impact, do you think?
Zero. Debates are not predictive of outcomes. Hillary Clinton won all 3 debates, still lost. John Kerry won all the debates, still lost. Barack Obama got trounced, 72 to 20% in the poll, worse than Biden, and went on to win. That's why we rely on the 13 keys which tap into the structure of how elections really work. So this is all foolhardy nonsense. The same pundits and pollsters who led us down the primrose path in 2016 are giving the Democrats horrible advice. This proves what I've been saying for years. Republicans have no principles. Democrats have no spine. Republicans are sticking with a blatant liar who lied for every 1 minute and 20 seconds of that debate. Donald Trump put out a lie. And by the way, lies stick. Debate performances can be overcome. And now the first sign of adversity, the spineless Democrats want to throw under the bus their own incumbent president. My goodness.